I wonder if you could talk about the elderly people's clubs
Yes.
that CDVTA runs. Can you tell me what those are and how they work?
Older people's clubs have been one of the most successful concepts in our community-based care approach to the aging. Now, we believe in looking after older people at a local level, and we believe in using an elderly, locally led, hand-driven approach. It is a system that is promoted by the elderly. And so the issue of older people's clubs came up because a lot of them were living in isolation. Some of them because they had lost family members, some of them because they were poor, some of them because they were not receiving any social protection, were isolated and left to themselves. And so we thought that one of the best ways to make sure that they become more active is to let them function within their communities in groups. So if you go into a quarter that is very large, we could divide that quarter into about 5 groups, depending on how far they have to travel to attend a group meeting. So it means that people in one small quarter will have their own club meeting, and they attend this club meeting 2 times in a month. Mm-hmm. The club meeting has a club executive, that there's a president, there's a secretary, there's a financial secretary, and there is, a treasurer. At the same time, each club has 2 volunteers who are community members selected by elderly people based on their maturity for development, for liking elderly people, people who do not move quickly out of the community, people who have other activities to lead in the communities, but then who are happy to support elderly people. So actually, groups of elderly people called elderly clubs were established as a means of combating loneliness, as a means of enabling and enhancing their capacities to prioritize, to identify the problems as a team, to prioritize the problems according to the order of importance, and to together identify simple solutions that can be used using local resources to solve these problems with the technical assistance of CDVTA. So that is done. So as far as we are concerned, and up to today, according to statistics, we have about 350 older people's clubs across the Northwest Regional Capital, across the Northwest region of Cameroon, which is the English-speaking part. Right. Now, at the same time, we have about 450 volunteers. Now, it's a very well-established network. This network was also done this way as a means of increasing on our ability for social mobilization, as increasing on the elderly lobbying procedures and the level of the advocacy, and enhancing the promotion and the protection of the rights of older persons. At the same time, promoting and lobbying the government on their national policy. So, generally, each region or each division, as we call, will celebrate the International Day of the Elderly, the International Day of Elder Abuse, and the International Day of Human Rights as a team. And of course, then, when they come out, awareness is raised. But eventually, we use all these groups. If they do that in their small groups in different communities, there's every year a regional convention that brings together 15,000 to 25,000 older persons in one place. Now that is to sound a note to the government and to increase on their voice, to inform government that they are still available and waiting for government to recommend the debate of their policies and issues affecting older people in Parliament.
And how many seniors belong to the clubs?
Right. There are clubs depending on the population of the community and the number of older people that are found there. Some clubs have about 40. Some clubs, a majority of the clubs, I was on the average club memberships about 70. But there are clubs with 350 members. But when there are 350 members, we think it's too large. We advise that they should divide the group into 3 groups, into 3 clubs.